Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, everybody? Wow. Okay. All right. Sorry for the lateness. Yeah. Life is lifing. It's Mr. Z's life is upside down right now. You know, tragedy hit the fam. So y'all keep Z and Z's loved ones in your prayers. So, I will still be attempting to stream as I can, but yeah, so I'm just kind of putting that out there. All right. Um, Shout out to Ed, Hurricane Ed, Mr. Edward Anderson. Okay. Um, Ed covered the Miss Rowe, Miss Somali liar scammer lady, right? Um, I'm still waiting on certain apologies. I ain't getting none yet. I ain't seen none yet. Have y'all seen any? Right? Tanya TKO, she ain't apologized. Actually, she didn't. She's kind of doubling and tripling down now. But okay, fine. Um, Anybody heard anything from Willie D? Anybody heard anything from Dr. Richie? No, no, no one heard anything from these people. Anybody heard anything from Real Talk with Yanni? No, right? No one heard anything from any of these people. No, kind of no, sort of. Okay, so we just could. Anybody heard anything from Claudia Jordan or Funky Deneva or anybody from Foxo? No, no. Okay, all right. Just making sure. Claudia Jordan, you said you're a friend of black men. Remember, you said you love black men. Yeah. hmm Funky Deneva, yeah, you cross dress and whatever, but you are a black man, a dark skinned black man. I'm just saying, Okay, all right. So y'all think y'all just gonna keep on throwing salt in the game and doing this type of thing, and then when it's clear that it was a lie and a scam, y'all don't have to say anything. Fuck you, didn't even. Once again, you still are a black man, player, a dark skinned black man. I'm just saying. All right, okay, all right. It's funny how that works. hmm Yeah, all the people, huh? The hate that pays. Okay, so if y'all saw the link in the description, Edward Anderson, the brother Ed, going off again, and there's the quote of the day. And Ed has said this multiple times. Other black people, namely black men, part of the Black Manosphere, have said this over and over again. They hate being black. Black women hate being black, and that is the issue. Shout out to Ed for continuing to reiterate this and beat the drums on this one. And he is 150 million% right. Absolutely correct on this one, right? And that's what this is about. These women hate being black. They want to, and Mr. Z says this also in his own way. They want to be white women. That's what this is. This is the project of becoming politically and socially white women, right? Even to the point where you do what white women have historically done with black men, literally fabricate and make up stories about black men to garner support from the outside world, right? Black women want to do that too. At least some do, right? And Anubis says the myth of white womanhood. Exactly. Exactly. Right? And that's what this is about, right? Black women talking about black men negatively pays, and we all know that. That's nothing new. That's the Black Manosphere. This is stuff that we speak about all the time. Just complete fabricating stories. Duh. Right? If black women can speak negatively about black men, they will make money. We know this from some of our authors, some of our black female entertainers, some of our black female poets, some of our black female activists, right? We know this. If you could speak disparagingly about black men, white society will love you for it. White feminists will love you for it, and they'll pay you for it. And you can frame it as just critiquing the black community, being honest about the black community, being honest about black men, speaking about black men's proclivities, right? But if you can pathologize black men, white society will pay you for it. They will pay you for it. Especially if you can hide your disdain for being black and for black men behind 4 and 5 syllable words. Oh, they'll pay you for it. White society will pay you for it. White conservatives will pay you. White liberals will pay you. Right? That's one piggy bank that you could keep on getting money from. So, you know, black women, in this case, ADOS black women, some Caribbean black women, and some West African black women have been so loud and been screaming from the mountaintops about how horrible black men are to them, right? That black immigrants from Somalia, right? A black immigrant from Somalia knows to come to this country and make up and fabricate whole stories about black men to garner tens of thousands of dollars, to earn tens of thousands of dollars, right? If you can fabricate a story, a really good story about one random black man or multiple random black men harming you, speaking negatively towards you, barking on you, attempting to hit on you and then hitting you, etc., etc., you can make tens of thousands of dollars because our community and the larger society has already been primed with this black men ain't ish rhetoric, right? A Somali knew that she could earn tens of thousands of dollars after being jumped by black women and blaming black men. A random black man, what she said, a random 6 foot something tall black man. Imagine that. That's the world we live in, right? The clip of the white woman that's kind of going a little viral, the one that's tatted from neck down, um, who took it very personal that she fell for the hoax. And she did say, shame on me. Her words. Have anyone, let's say it again, has anyone here heard Tanya TKO say that? Or Yanni say that? Or Claudia Jordan say that? Has anyone heard Willie D say that? Or Dr. Richie say? Notice the black people who should know better, none of them are saying shame on me. Right? None of the black people are saying shame on me for believing that mess. But this random white woman is saying shame on me for believing that. And emphasizing, be very clear, the white woman, y'all want to be white women, all right, fine, pay attention. The white woman is emphasizing that this black woman made up and fabricated this story about black men multiple times. Let's be very clear. Let's say that one more again, slow. The white woman is upset that she fell for the hoax. 2, she said out of her own mouth, shame on me for believing this. 3, she's emphasizing that this black woman is fabricating stories about black men. I want to be very clear about that ending part again. Black woman fabricating stories about black men. Out of her words were black men. Excuse me, out of her mouth. Right? And all of these black people, that's black men and black women, have nothing to say. Heard the story, went around spreading the story, went around chastising, insulting, demeaning, criticizing, critiquing black men. Now that the story has come out to pretty much be a hoax, mum's the word, nothing to say, nothing to see here. And a random white woman feels some type of way about believing this story, and all the black people that went along with the story and used the story as a way to hit black men upside the head, nothing. Huh. Nothing. So when we say things like criticizing is not strong enough of a word. That's the wrong word. Insulting, there we go. Insulting black men is black America's favorite pastime, right? Demeaning black men under the banner of constructive criticism, BS, is part of a black America's favorite pastime. When we say things like that, exhibit A, right? It has been how many days since everyone started to realize that this was a hoax? And all the people that published the story, that covered the story, right? That spread the story, how many of these people have come out to correct the story, number one, and to apologize to black men, number two? Mr. Z checked Fox Soul a little while ago. Didn't see anything from Claudia Jordan and Funky Geneva. Has anybody once again heard from Dr. Richie? Has anyone heard from Willie D? Anything yet? Right. Once again, dear black community, y'all created this environment. I said this a couple of days ago. Dear black community, y'all created the environment. You told black women if they do this, this will happen. Right? Why wouldn't this young lady lie? This is something, Mr. Z is rehashing this part, but why wouldn't this young lady lie? What about the black community said, oh yeah, you can't lie on black men, black women. You can't lie on them. No, white racist women do that. You can't claim damsel in distress if this didn't happen. No, black women, you can't do that. No, we're not going to do that to black men. Who's ever said that to black women? No, y'all encourage them to be jealous of white women and white girls. Y'all encourage them to compare black men to white men and deem black men lacking. Right? Y'all encourage them to think they're better than black men in every single sense of the word better. Why wouldn't Ro do this? Rhoda, right? As an immigrant, you think she didn't get the message? She got the message clearly. This is the beauty of the internet, because if it wasn't for black men in the black manosphere, and even people like Mr. Z, who's I'm still waiting for those apologies. They're never coming. Because to apologize would admit way too much, because you wouldn't just be apologizing for this incident. You would be apologizing for the environment that helped to foster this. And the reason why you believe this in the first place. Right? So Ed also speaks of speaks about the content creators who are finessing black women out of money, doing everything from femininity school to stories like covering stories like this, right? All the teaching women how to practice hypergamy, etc., all the finessing. But of course black women with a little bit of know-how could finesse other black women out of money, tens of thousands of dollars, if not even hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions. Of course, especially when in the backdrop of the conversation is black men lacking, right? You practice hypergamy to probably most likely try to pull you a non-black man, preferably a white man with some money, right? That's what the hypergamy thing is. The femininity school is so you could come off, let's be very clear, because femininity doesn't exist in a vacuum, like a white woman, a upper middle class, nose in the air, stuck up brat, a-hole, white woman. So yeah, these young women especially will be finessed out of money. Because once again, in the backdrop of the conversation is femininity in your way out of black men, hypergamy in your way out of black men. No, neither one of those are real words, but y'all get it. Right? We're better than black men. We're gonna class our way out of being black and out of being around and surrounded by and connected to black men. So yes, these supposed quote unquote female dating coaches and femininity gurus and teachers of her hypergamy, of course they're going to finesse black women out of money. Of course, why not? Once again, our community has primed black women to think of black men this way, to move this way, to feel this way. So it's nothing for Chrissy to come around or for Tanya TKO to come around or Paris Milan to come around, right? And you add to that the environment that already pushes women in general in the West, black women specifically, to see men as walking wallets and overglorified guard dogs, which only benefits upper tier white men. Of course, the people that are winning rig the game for you to see them as the winners. Duh. Coming off the minds of the Chicago boys and Milton Freeman. Take women's already hypergamous nature and turning up to 11. As a matter of fact, break the goddamn knob. Take women's proclivities and turn it up to 11. Once again, as a matter of fact, break the goddamn knob. And the poorest amongst these women, oftentimes black women and Latina women, will be the most aspirational and the most delusional when it comes to manhood and masculinity. Right? The study, I think BGS covered this years ago, maybe 4 years ago at this point, 3-ish, 4 years ago, where they polled women of different backgrounds about what about men they consider to be manly, or what makes a man. And of course, black women had the highest bar. Of course they did. Delusional much? Right? And no placeholder says, and thank you for the super chat, y'all ninjas, excuse me, y'all ninjas are who we thought you were. Oops, aren't they? They're exactly who we thought they were. You are who we thought you were, of course. They are who we thought they were, of course. And these people expose themselves and expose what the Black manosphere has been saying for the longest. The Black community has a misandrist problem. Let's be very clear. Just like Ed said, these women don't want to be Black. They're tired of being Black. But also they blame Black men for being Black. They blame Black men for being Black. And the Black community puts the onus on Black men to elevate the race out of Blackness, out of the political project of Black people being the permanent underclass. They put the onus on Black men to turn the Black community politically and socially, economically, yes, but that goes without saying, politically and socially into something else but being, and excuse my language earlier this morning, niggified. It's up to Black men to, excuse me again, to de-niggify Black people. And I said with the ER on purpose. The onus is on Black men. And that's why it's so easy to believe any one of these type of stories. Because what it shows is that Black men haven't adhered to some type of civility that white Judeo-Christians believe in. Meanwhile, somewhere in America is some white man that done offed his wife and himself and the kids. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, there's some white little girl probably getting raped right now by an uncle. Or a pastor, yikes. Or a random white dude in her community. Maybe y'all forgot the 80s. Yeah, there were stories of Black people doing weirdo stuff, but nothing compared to the white folks. The white men. You know, those same white men that you keep on comparing Black men to? You know, the white men with the money and the status that you would think would be better and know better, but apparently not. Right? Not only, and I agree with Ed, not only are these Black women tired of being Black, they blame Black men for being Black. They hate Black men for being Black. And it's not so much about the phenotype, although it is about the phenotype. It's not as much about the phenotype than what it politically and socially means to be Black in America. To be a Black woman in America, which means to not be a white woman in America. And that's what it's really about. To not be a white woman in America. To watch as Asian women step over you and pull all the white men that you feel like you should have pulled. To feel betrayed by white men, but be too cowardly to say it out loud. I should have been Asian women. They just started getting here 50 years ago in real numbers, and y'all already marrying them. Look at all these Hopper babies running around. It should have been me. Right? I thought it, Trill. I thought it. And Trill says Jean Benet Ramsey. I thought it. Right? And with that, a whole lot of Black women can easily be played out of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. It's very possible that if this thing didn't break, as a hoax, that young lady could have walked out of here with some 60, 75, maybe even $100,000. It is very possible that she could have walked out of here with 60, $75,000. Easy, right? Easy. Because the black community wants to believe negative stories about black men so bad because it allows them to go to sleep at night and not be honest with themselves that, really, what this is about is that black women ain't white women. It's easier to say, well, the issue is that black men don't know how to act. They don't know how to take no for an answer. And they're over here assaulting black women. And the other black men are cowards. So you have the monsters on one hand and the cowards on the other hand. Instead of just admitting that you blame black men for slavery. Oh yeah, Mr. Z went for that. Oh, you know what? Let's actually they said it. Oh wait, what am I saying? Black women have said it. Oh, they've said it. They blame black men for being captured by either rival tribes in Africa or by slave catchers. And yes, it was a thing. Yes, there were white people going into the interior trying to capture slaves. There's actually a couple of stories of them dying trying to do it. So no, it wasn't just rival tribes. Stop it. Right? So these people blame black men for either being captured by rival tribes or by white slavers, being shoved on a boat, brought across the Atlantic Ocean, sold like property, enslaved for hundreds of years, then going through Jim Crow, and now this kind of sort of unofficial Jim Crow off paper. Let's be very clear, y'all blame black men for that. Y'all too cowardly to say it. For the black men, y'all don't got the balls. For the black women, y'all don't have the ovaries. But that's really what this is. As a matter of fact, every once in a while, a woman will say it. A black woman will say it. Right? Hmm. That's what this is really about. I can't be white women because this skin tone has marked me for the rest of my life to not be a white woman. And all I want to be is a white woman. Now, there are going to be black women that hear this type of message and say, no, I don't want to be a white woman. Why are you associating white with women, women with white? Because that is what it is. Your political project of being quote unquote a woman, the way you see it, is a white woman. It's not even just a white woman, it's an upper middle class white woman. The power that you want to wield is upper middle class and above white women power. It's rich white woman power. It's elite white woman power. You don't just want to be a quote unquote woman. You don't even really want to be a quote unquote white woman. You want to be a upper middle class, rich or elite white woman. Because if I show you what standard white women are living, like Roseanne, the television show, not the actual actress, right? Or the mother off of Malcolm in the Middle, right? Or Married with Children. If I show you what the standard white woman is living, and by the way, the house in Malcolm in the Middle might have been a little too big. And Married with Children house might have been a little too big. If I show you what the standard white woman is living, that you keep on comparing yourself to, and continue to compare black men to those white men, you ain't gonna want to live that. So you don't even want to be a standard white woman. You keep on saying white women, or excuse me, better yet, women in a vacuum, right? But it's the myth of white womanhood. So yeah, Ed is correct. These content creators will continue to finesse the money out of black women, selling them on everything except stop with your inferiority complex because you ain't white and you never will be. Can there be a collective uplift of black people? Yes. But what black men have created, and some black women, is something separate and apart from white men that allows for black men not to be judged by white male standards all the time on everything, even things that's detrimental to black men. Black men don't get off on being chocolate dip white men. Not the majority anyway. Right? That's not a black man project. So Ed calling this hate speech, oh, we gotta, spend a couple of minutes on this. That's exactly what it is. This young lady used negative stereotypes about black men being aggressive to black women and negative stereotypes about black men being cowards that would watch a black man assault a black woman and use that towards her advantage and made $40,000 out of the deal. Over 40,000 at this point. Yes, that is hate speech. This is borderline hate speech. And Ed is right. This is hate speech. Using a negative stereotype that black women already hold about black men, either being able to assault black women and getting away with it, and using the negative stereotype of black men being cowards or tacitly agreeing with black women being assaulted, that is hate speech type of behavior. You are spreading and propagating hate speech because when you're gonna, and as a matter of fact, no, when you got jumped by the black women and blame it on some random, according to your friend, right? When you got jumped by the black women and blamed it on some random 6 foot tall plus black man, that was hate speech and scamming, right? Yeah, that's hate speech, right? Yes, it is. So Ed is right that that is hate speech that this lady is engaging in, and all the other black people that supported her and backed up that message. What do you think you were engaging in? All you black women and all you black men that essentially did the "what's wrong with black men?" What do you think you're engaging in? What would you call that? If not hate speech, what is it? Right? What would you call that? And y'all give Mr. Z a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. We're back. We're back. Right? So yes, Ed is right. That's hate speech. Absolutely. And hate speech that garnered this woman 40 plus $1,000. Right? And no placer holder also says, and thank you for the super chat again, like the US black women are now cannibalizing their allies. Yeah. As a matter of fact, there's certain allies that they would have had that they're gonna lose. That white woman, you could see from her response, especially how she ended one of the videos, that she's gonna go after Rhoda. She's gonna go after Ro. Like she said, shame on me for believing this. And she emphasized the fact that Rhoda was using black men to earn this money, to scam people, to scam her. And y'all know white women and when they feel played. Right? It's gonna be real. I said it to y'all. Let me make sure I say this again. just in case, when it happens, so we can remember Mr. Z said this. Um, I do foresee a day where you will have black women on one end screaming about how horrible black men are, and on the other end will be non-black women saying, yeah, maybe not. That's not our experience. You kind of actually already had a bit of this. It's a random white dude, Anubis. Oh boy, with the Cash App. Goddamn, Anubis. thank you very much, Anubis. Thank you very much. Right, Anubis been blessing the channel. Thank you, Anubis. Good morning to you too, sir. Anubis say never comment though. Right, but damn, I lost my train of thought right there. Thank you, Mr. Anubis. Oh yeah, I do foresee a future where you will have some black women on one end with the same negative stereotypes about black men, and on the other end, you will have non-black people, maybe white women or Latinas, or even maybe a couple of gay non-black people, or just friends of black men, white men, or a random Latino man. And you will have those people saying, yeah, you talking real crazy about black men, and I don't know if black men are that bad. I want to be very clear, dear black women. White people saw y'all comments about Kobe Bryant. I saw their comments about your comments with my own two eyes. As much as y'all think it was justified, the Rollo Tomasis of the world and other white men saw your comments about Kevin Samuels. They saw y'all dance on his grave. They saw y'all dancing on Terry Nichols' grave. They saw y'all dancing on Toby, the African brother who was killed, by the white woman down here in South Florida. They saw y'all dancing on his grave. They see that. They read the comments. Dear black people, black Twitter is not real. I mean, like, there are circles that you can go around in a quote unquote black side of Twitter, but there's no special pass. There's white folks crawling all over those comments too. If you doubt me, look at what happened when the young lady, the white lady, the black lady, the black young lady, spoke real reckless and crazy about white folks and how white folks smell like dogs and white folks this and white folks that. Come to find out she got a white boyfriend, and white men and women were the ones mainly saying predictable. You think other people don't see you, Chrissy. You think other people don't see you, Yanni. You think other people don't see you, Paris. You think. Right? You think. Are you sure? And the reason why this matters is because that propagating negative stereotypes about black men in this current environment, the lying and fabricating stories about black men in this current environment, the cry wolf about black men in this current environment, as I said before, being tone deaf, while white men go on a tear to get white women back in line, and you want to make up cry wolf stories now? All right. And for all of you that agreed and propagate and push this story, are you sure you want to do that now? Right? I don't think it's smart. Right? So I do truly foresee one day, where a group of black women are sitting on one end of a debate table, and maybe non-black women are sitting on the other end of a debate table, and black women are the ones speaking about how horrible black men are. And of course, they're going to frame it on some, well, that's the way they treat us. They treat everyone else different and special. And of course, you're going to say that white woman, and of course, you're going to say that Latina, and of course, you're going to say that, mixed, exotical, or whatever you are, woman, racially ambiguous woman. Of course, you're going to, because they treat y'all different, but they treat us like trash. And we feel better because non-black men treat us better, while they sit across the table from a non-black man. What did that dark skinned sister say on that clip? She's, when you go out of the country, the way they worship you, and it's, what did I do to deserve to be in your presence? What, man, from across, man, look. Oh, the lengths they will go to gaslight this entire society, particularly black men, about how non-black men treat them. Where on the planet you think black women are darker skinned black women, and if you think we're colorists as black men, you ain't seen nothing yet until you go overseas. Where y'all think y'all going? Where non-black men, their aura is, what did I do to deserve to be in your presence? Where? Where did you go where they treat you like that? I want to go. I want to see it. Right? But that speaks to something. That's how far women like this are willing to go to gaslight black men. Well, you don't know how to treat us, but I went to Italy and I was treated like a queen. I went to France and I was treated like a queen. I went to Japan and I was worshipped. Don't got not a single goddamn ring, a proposal, not even a boy toy. They didn't even bring the boy toy over. Huh. And shout out to what's her name, when she called out that young lady, was like, yeah, I've dated white men and they just treat you better, and why aren't you married to one? Well, it'd be me and exactly. Right? Perfect response. And that's the way to respond to black women whenever they say, these non-black men treat me better. Then why aren't you with one? Shouldn't you have been married to one 10 years ago? And that's the type of rhetoric Rhoda was engaging in. This black man assaulted me. These other black men watched and did nothing. Right? And no placeholder. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Right? Black women that believed this want to be able to get black men to do community-wide send-off missions, quote unquote protection, based off the word of any random black woman. So, Ed was speaking about protection. And let's be very clear. This is why they want community-wide, quote unquote, protection, which is really being able to tap any black man and say, oh yeah, that person right there. Whether that person right there be a black woman, a black man, a non-black person, what these people call protection is the ability to tap in. And this also lets you know how delusional they think. They truly think, not all, once again, not all. Some of these black women really think that's how white women get to do it. They think any random white woman could tap a white man on the shoulder and be like, excuse my language, that nigga right there, he said something to me. Go kill him. That's what protection looks like to them. Because the way they feel about white women and the way they feel white women get to move and operate. Protection for them is the ability to tap any random black man and send him on some send-off mission. On some go get that person mission. Once again, that person could be another black woman, a black man, a white person, a Latino person, an Asian person, an indigenous person, anyone. Thank you, Carlton Banks III. Crash test dummies. Crash test dummies. Perfect. And that's what they call, quote unquote, protection. Wait, white women can't do the same? No. What drugs are you on? That's what they think protection is. They have so over romanticized the position of white women, they're just being delusional now. They think white women could do that. Your random your random neighbor 2 houses down, white woman, not her husband, not even one of the neighbors that they have a good rapport. No, she could be in the grocery store and just tap a random white man. Hey, you, that nigga right there. And that's protection. Right? I said it before. They look at Amy Cooper, and I think that's the white lady's name that called the cop on the bird watcher. That's the power they want to wield. They look at the Karens. You think some of these black women don't want Karen's power? They want that. That's the goal. Why can't I put it on the crocodile tears and get a random person killed? Random man killed. I want to be able to have that power too. That proxy power, the ability to wage proxy violence, right? Especially, you're a random brother, you have a non-black girlfriend, you living it up, you happy, you accidentally bump into a black woman. Oh, I'm sorry, she's having a bad day. Oh yeah, she want to be able to make one phone call and get you stomped out. First of all, you got a non-black woman and you look too damn happy and you done smeared her shoe or something like that. Oh yeah. Right? You think those people don't want that type of power? They want it. That's what they think. They think protection is a random before Chad Wheeler. It doesn't matter what that girl was on before. It doesn't matter if she hunted him down. It doesn't matter if he did that to her before. Chad Wheeler his black men should have parachuted through the ceiling, through the roof, and stopped Chad Wheeler's hand mid-air before he knocked his girlfriend out or whatever that woman was to him. Right? That's what they think power looks like. Excuse me. That's what they think protection looks like. Mr. Z, you're saying think. Wrong word. That's what they feel protection looks like. Right? One thing that Ed said we really have to grapple with, I think the Black Manosphere is doing a really good job on speaking about this. These women, narcissism, wanting for black men to be willing to die in honor of her, to quote unquote protect her. Random black men should be willing to die. See, the whole time when people were responding, and even some other black women were responding, no, I want my boyfriend, my husband, my lover to come home. I don't know if I want him to just be willing to quote unquote randomly protect one of these wayward black women who might have instigated the situation, who probably instigated the situation. Dear you black women, y'all don't get it. That's the whole point. It is about these women's narcissism because they think that low of black men's lives. Yes, they do. That's the whole point. That they're narcissistic a-holes, self-centered, selfish a-holes, and black men should be willing to give up their lives for the quote-unquote honor and quote-unquote protection of any random black woman who feels a certain way in the moment. That's the whole point. And Indigo Flow says, peep how it's only black women with no men that want random black men to put their lives on the line for them. That's the whole point. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's the whole point of this quote unquote community wide, right? Community wide protection. That's the whole. I've said it before. They want to be under this umbrella or this tint of black men. That way they're not relying on any one individual black man. That's the way they see community. Community means I can be snarky, mean, a-hole, condescending to any random black man or a random group of black men, but they still owe me. Them and other black men of the community will still do for me. There is no, well, hey man, you taking this too far. We gotta kick you out. You out. You out. You out. So go fend for yourself. Go do whatever you want to do with whoever you want to do with outside of the black community. In their mind, your job is to provide this tent, this shelter, this umbrella of quote unquote protection, regardless of her individual actions. Maybe they never heard of prison before. They never heard of a tribe kicking people out. Right? They never heard of, let's just say, how the Muslims do things when women don't listen. Uh-oh. How certain Muslims do things. Yep. Be your older brother or your dad or your older cousin. Ed is right about there is no protection without control. That's why they don't want an individual man to have that much power. That's the whole point of attempting to shame you and other black men into behaving a certain way. That's the whole point. Right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. That's the whole point. Right? You should be willing to die for these people. And that's their narcissism. And that's their need to be white women. Right? And Big Kev says, and thank you for the super chat, most black slaves in North America were actually Amerindians from Yucatan, Caribbean, and East Woodlands. Only a small percent of them were African. We could have that conversation, not on this video though, right? What's the next time I'm doing a live? I'd probably do a live Friday or Saturday night. We could have that conversation, right? And thank you for the super chat, Big Kev. And what else we got here? Once again, obviously, this is why black women compare black men to white men. It's to gaslight black men to be the mythical, magical white man who protects all black women all the time. Once again, as if there's not missing white women, missing Latina women, missing Asian women, missing indigenous women, and definitely indigenous women. Definitely indigenous women. Right? Like we don't find them harmed, etc., etc. Like these men are just paragons of protection. Right? These people speak like these men are the white men are the paragons of protection. Latino men are the paragons of protection. I would like to direct you to Latin America right now, just south of the border. Just go down to Mexico. Go down to Mexico and be the wife or the girlfriend of a rival drug lord. You want to talk about protection? uh, you want to talk about protection? All right, chainsaw to the neck. Oh wait, you thought we were gonna just shoot you? We're not black. Oh no, we gotta send a message. Let me get that handsaw. Right? We might not even kill you. We might send you back with no arms. Think I'm lying. You want to talk about protection? These people are so delusional. They actually don't know how these other men operate, especially outside of America and outside of the West. They have no idea how men in India operate, how men in the Middle East operate, how men south of the border operate. And they don't care. Not only do they not know, they don't care to know. They don't know, they don't care, and they don't care to know, but they know they're going to use some weirdo idea that they think they have against you to gaslight you, right? They attempt to gaslight you with the mythical, magical white men that protect white women all the time. All white women all the time, right? So, my next video I'm probably going to cover even has Tanya TKO talking about who would you ask for help. And in the comments, of course, you know it, you better know it, is black women saying they'll ask white men and Latino men for help. And white men and Latino men are the only men that help them. And his sister, supposedly, that was in the military, and she never asked black men for anything. I asked white men and Latino men, and it gets done. Yeah. All these black women, not a goddamn single ring. We could read dozens of comments from these black women that I'll ask help from the white man. I'll ask help from the Latino man. I'll ask help from a black woman. And what? Y'all not in same-sex loving relationships. Y'all not married to no white man or no Latino man. Talking crap. These men are so great that they refuse to marry you. You might get some D out the deal. They won't even let you have the mixed kid. They strap up every time they go in. They won't even risk having the mixed kid. But that's who you're going to ask for help. Get out of here. Right. I asked white men and Latino, who would you ask for help? As a matter of fact, continue doing that. Dear Willie D. Dear Dr. Richie. Right? Y'all helped to bring this about. And as I said, Tanya TKO talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and going and going and going and going. So now that they all took this public L to the face, oh yeah, you better believe they're gonna try to turn it around and find a way. Like, well, okay, fine. Well, the way y'all responded was the problem anyway. Too many black men were in the comments talking about, yeah, she don't deserve protection. So I'm gonna make a video talking about who would you ask for help. So her lying and fabricating the story, that's not an issue. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's about black men, and black men ain't ish anyway. So we can fabricate whole lies and stories about them. And we're not gonna judge the black women who lied, who fabricated the story. We're not going to judge all the black women who use that as an opportunity to defecate on black men one more again. No, black men's supposed response to it. That's what we're going to base this entire conversation on, you cowards. Dear Tanya TKO's kids, if she got any kids, oh my God. Shout out to whatever man, bruh. I'll be telling you, I told y'all, I'm looking at you spouses and you people that have children with these people. You saw this and you thought it was okay to get this pregnant? Right? Huh. Talking and talking and talking and talking. Who would you ask for help? So we're gonna cover that. But with this one, it was very important that we cover what Ed was saying. And yes, it's the hate that pays. The hate that pays. To sum it all up, it's the hate that pays. The hate that pays is these particular black women hating themselves. First and foremost, it's hatred of self. Yes, it is. For many of them. For others, they don't actually hate themselves. They hate black men. They hate black men for black men not making them white women politically and socially. Right? It's the hate that pays. It's hatred of oneself. Excuse me. It's hatred of oneself. It's hatred of the opposite sex. It's hatred of being black, of black people, of black men, of what blackness means in this society. And I can understand that. I can understand having an issue with blackness means in this society. But the way these people go about it is not to help to tear down these systems. Like they keep on the systems of oppression. Oh no, you don't actually care about that. The way you go about it is to go at black men and to defecate on black men's image and to back other black women who made up whole stories about black men, who fabricated whole negative lies and stories about black men. Random black man who supposedly assaulted this woman, random black men who supposedly watched. This is what hatred of self looks like. This is what hatred of the opposite sex looks like. This is what it looks like to make money off of it. To know that there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of black women who will pay you for your woe is me, a black man did something bad to me, now pay me stories. Right? It should be embarrassing that the one person who feels shame and who actually publicly said it was the white woman y'all worship and that y'all wish y'all were. That should be shameful. The one person who showed any contrition, the one person who actually said, shame on me, the one person was a white woman. Everybody else tried to equivocate. Now you see Tanya TKO trying to flip the story. Who would you ask for help? Embarrassing. These are from black women sometimes who claim to care about black men. These are from black women who claim that black men don't care about them, that black men hate them. Oh yeah, thank you, Spain Man. Let's get those likes up. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Right? And exactly, Indigo, hearing a woman say shame on me is wild. And don't you see the seeds of what I'm saying in that? That one day it's going to be a random, it's going to be, black women on one side of the table and non-black women on another side of the table, and the non-black people are going to be the people saying, you know what, black men are not actually that bad. They're not the worst thing in the world. That's frightening that is a possibility. right? That's frightening. It's frightening that one day you will have a young lady like this lady, tatted from the neck down, might even be sexually alternative, or and on one end she'll be like, yeah, I remember this one time this black woman straight up lied and fabricated a story about a black man, and I remember reading the comments from black women. I don't think black men are that bad. And then on the other end will be black women calling her all type of Beckys, and making different innuendos about her her life, and the fact that, oh yeah, well, you're not black, and of course they don't treat you like that, and of course you don't understand, right? And trying to pull the oppression Olympics card. You don't get it. Black men treat everybody like better than they treat us, and da 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 da. Oh yeah, definitely a possibility. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, right? So yeah, I definitely see that happening in the future. Absolutely, right? And we're going to cover that later on today. Maybe if it's not this afternoon, tonight, we're definitely going to cover Tanya TKO. Who would you ask for help? Oh boy, right? And Indigo Flow says, who's the manager of black women? Question mark. White women are gonna want to know. Look, um, apparently, even on this one, I mean, this is just one random white woman, but I've been around white women. We've all been around white women. We've worked with them. Dear black women, that black man is the boogeyman. You might be reaching the market cap on that one. Y'all crying wolf. Y'all might be reaching this white woman she was too explicit. She didn't mince words. She didn't hide. She didn't use euphemism. She was very clear. A black woman is using negative stereotypes about black men to make money. And I feel ashamed for supporting her. Black women, all right. Right, alternative white women. As that starts to climb up, and it becomes the blonde, blue-eyed white woman, all right, black women. I told y'all this is the wrong time to be playing scary boogeyman black man, because it's not that white men care, but the fact that it's a man thing. All right, this may not be the time, dear Yanni, dear Cynthia G, dear Tanya TKO, dear Chrissy, dear definitely Paris Milan with her femicide crap. May not be the time, but y'all don't hear me though. And Carlton Banks III says the deep state is the manager of black women. Nah, Rogan said the Borg. Rogan said they belong to the game. Right? Shout out to the brother Rogan's son. Right? And let's pause for the cause right here. Y'all already know. And shout out to Gold Professor, Gold P. For those of you that don't know, Gold P was the first person to suggest that Mr. Z start his channel, which I did eventually. So y'all send all y'all hate mail to Gold Professor, right? 1-800-Z ain't ish. Y'all send that to Gold Professor. I gave y'all the telephone number instead of website, but that's why y'all send it, right? And Gold P says, "Ha, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, is it? Question mark. Anyone goes at the top, brothers. Keep winning. Gold Professor, Gold P, GP." Gold P, I said it. The internet has democratized the town square. The internet has democratized. They're scrambling. They are scrambling. If you see this story comes out, and then Tanya TKO turns around right when she takes a public L, the L is on her forehead right now. The L is on her forehead like Harry Potter's Thunderbolt scar. The L is on her forehead right now. And for her to attempt to turn around and turn this into a, well, who would you ask for help? In other words, okay, fine, but the way black men responded to the story, though, that was real. The way she attempted to flip the story, take the L and give it to black men like it's hot potato. Like we playing hot potato right now. Oh no, Tanya, you're gonna have to hold that L. Well, I want to ask y'all for protection anyway. Fine, but have fun asking the random white man for protection. They really believe this Judeo-Christian crap where white men are just, parachuting through ceilings protecting white women. Da, 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 da. I'll save you, white woman, from the other white man who's harming you. Yeah, that's a thing. Latinos. Da, 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 I'll protect you, like random Latina from the other Latinos that's harming you. Da, 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 I'll save you, South Asians, Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshis, Sri Lankans. I'll save you from other South Asian men that's harming you. Wait, let me get this acid-proof suit. Right? They have separate cars for Japanese women in Japan because Japanese men, once again, we're not trying to be negative towards Japanese men and paint them all as these creepers, but some Japanese men were feeling on Japanese women on the train and others were watching and said nothing. And these are the same people that black women turn around and tell you what, you're going to ask them for help? They're the paragons of protection, right? Okay, yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. In certain parts of this world, they kidnap their wife and then force her to marry them. You think I'm lying? Let me say that again. They went back a few thousand years and they're kidnapping their wives. And before the family could find the wife, they forced that woman to marry them. And they'd be like, well, you found her, but yeah, she married to me now. Well, that's what it is. Right? And these women, as ignorant as they are telling you about how great other men are in comparison to black men. Meanwhile, when other women date black men, they date black men. And when they marry black men, they marry black men because of black men's egalitarianism. Because a brother don't have a problem washing the dishes, mopping the floor, sweeping, folding some clothes, ironing some clothes, spending time with the kids, teaching the kids, helping the kids with homework, and then go outside and mow the lawn and wash the cars. And then come back inside, take a shower, and handle some business. Wink, wink, nod, nod, giggity. But let black women tell it. Who would you ask for some help? Meanwhile, other black women speak about living in the burbs and being straight up ignored by white men. Straight up ignored by the masses of white men. That white men wouldn't even urinate on you if you were to catch on fire. But you let these randoms on the internet talk, right? I think Tyra Banks had a segment when she used to have her talk show of a. She had a segment where she showed a black woman with her 2 or 3 kids, and she was walking down the street or something like that. And but the sister was kind of cute, and she had some expensive jewelry on or whatever. And she asked or the poll was like asking random white folks what they thought. And the random white folks just started coming out the top with all type of negative stereotype. Oh, she's a single mother and all this other stuff, right? And dear black women, those same white folks are going to be the ones to, excuse me, better yet, those same white men are going to be the ones to help you, right? Shay Sade covered a couple years ago at, a study they did where they asked random white men what they think about black women, and it was just nothing but negative stereotypes. And this wasn't some study from the 1970s. This was a study from like a couple years ago. Nothing but negative stereotypes. Either way, we'll cover it later. But shout out to the brother Edward Anderson for covering this. Yes, the hate that pays. And yes, they do hate being black. The black women we're speaking about do hate being black. Meanwhile, black men worship their dirty draws. Black men love their kinky hair. Black men love their skin tones. Yes, even the dark skinned ones. Miss Colorist Queen, you loser. Right? Black men love their shapes. Black men have made whole rap songs and R&B songs, pop music, speaking about black women in their shape. Speaking about our love for black women. But these women don't like what they see in the mirror. So they try to project that onto you and say you don't like what you see in them. Hmm. So I agree with Ed. I agree with Ed. These women hate being black. And they hate you and their damn black daddies for being black, for making them black, for being born black. They blame black men for what it means to be black politically, socially in America. Right? They blame black men for that. And if you, as a black woman, maybe even a white or Latina or Asian woman, if you could come up with the black man is boogeyman story and articulate it well enough, black women will pay you. If you're a black woman, black people will pay you for the black man is boogeyman stories. Right? So on that note, everyone, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the thank you button for the replay game. Once again, shout out to Anubis. Thank you very much, Anubis. Exactly. Right? Exactly, D Scott. Exactly. Right? I'm a few minutes behind. Shout out to Anubis. Shout out to Anubis. Right? So, we'll cover it either later on today or tonight. But yeah, so this is the project of protecting black men's image, of responding back to these people that are making money, literally making money off of defecating on black men. So that's what we're covering. That's what we're doing. Um, and we are going to speak about these particular type of black women who do harm to other black women. Because if you put out negative stereotypes about black men, and a black man gets harmed from that negative stereotype, who is a father, an involved father, a husband, a boyfriend, a lover to a black woman, then you are doing other black women harm. You're taking food out of her mouth. You're taking away her quote unquote protection, right? You're taking away her guidance. You are doing harm to other black men and other black women. You are. But you're myopic and you don't think like that, and it doesn't matter because the way you feel. So this is also like scorched earth ideas, like, well, I'm not happy about black men, so burn all to the ground. And I don't care what women writ large and black women specifically get harmed in the deal because I didn't get what I wanted. I wanted me a chiseled chin Tyrone, who's both street, hood, and corporate, and square, and not square, and charismatic, and it doesn't speak that much, and has a six-pack, and his chiseled chin with the beard, and the crisp line, dreads, right? Very attractive, but only has eyes for me. Oh, Steph Cole literally said it, right? And because I can't have that type of man, or I can't keep him, then scorch earth everything. Ain't that right, Chrissy? Uh-oh. Ain't that right, Yanni? Decenter men. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, Kim Foster? Oh, crap. Ain't that right, Ebony K. Williams? Yikes. Huh? Ain't that right, Khadijah? Ooh. Yeah, there's a reason why you same-sex loving and queer. Shout out to you, FD Signifier, for not seeing these women as the bitter, angry women they are. Ain't that right, Cynthia G? I tried to turn a street dude who had multiple kids from multiple women into a dude for me. I was already gone anyway, and when it didn't work out between me and him, oh, scorch earth all you black men. Abort black male babies. Loser behavior. Right? Loser behavior. The hate that pays. The hate that pays. And I know, yes, Mr. Z was contradicting himself and talking about bald dudes with the crisp tape line and dreads. Yes, because that's how they sound. It doesn't have to be consistent, people. I've said this to BGS. I've said this to Toya. I've said this to multiple people. I've said this to Art New Style, right? It doesn't. I said this to Charles. It doesn't have to be consistent. It's the way they feel. And we know feelings are fickle, right? And on that note, let's read this from the 18th letter. And 18th letter says, shout out to the colorism queen for practicing discernment and not covering this story and covering her behind. These women never left the plantation. Bro, you noticed that too, right? Paris ain't covering neither, and Paris should have been on that. But Paris over here probably jet setting with her ballerific husband right now. Right? Chrissy probably was gonna cover it and was gonna take a while. But she ended up not covering it before the story came out. I would say that about her. Not saying she would have, but if she probably was going to take a while to cover it, and then by the time she was going to cover it, the actual reality of the situation came out. Right? But yes, that's the environment we live in. The hate that pays. Hatred of black men pays. Hatred of yourself and then projecting it on black men pays. Hatred of what you see in the mirror and projecting it on black men pays. Hatred of white women's position in this society and blaming black men of it because they haven't put you in that political and social position. Yes, it pays. Articulating that hatred, it pays. And on that note, everyone, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all go, check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Dr. Thunder should be streaming right now, maybe. I'm not sure. But if he is, y'all go check out Dr. Thunder. Like I said, other non-Manosphere content, and we're going to be covering other non-Manosphere content also. Again, let's see when that next Republican debate is. Like I said, I'm going to try to finagle something and see who wants to kind of do a panel where we speak about it live, right? So let's see. That should be fun. Oh, the Black Manosphere covers of debate, and I want the whole political spectrum on that, right? So yeah, that'll be fun. If you hear anybody else in the Black Manosphere talking about it, they stole the idea from Z. Pay me. Okay. All right. On that note, we will truly pause right here. Like I said, go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, and y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. All right, Mr. Z out, and y'all protect black men's image from these weirdos. All right, everybody, Mr. Z out.